welcome back to Mobility Project. Working through a problem with one of my endurance athletes. This is Coach Tuller, and he's known just to everyone as Tuller. And how many ultras have you run, you think? 100?
35 100 at least.
35 100.
Pull your head out of your ass.
That was not the question. The question is how many ultras have you run?
I lost track.
Lost track. The answer is more than any human being ever should is really the right answer. I mean, you know, having run an ultra myself, as one of the hugest human beings ever to complete an ultra, I'll tell you, I'm done with this part of my aspect of my training. So, but Robert just ran your which one? Wasatch or the
Wasatch.
And which one was that for you? 7?
13.
13th Wasatch. How many hours did you spend on your feet?
35.
35 hours moving forward. And I like what Robert says. He's like, hey, I'm not running the whole time, but I'm always moving the whole time. He's like, you told me one time, you're like, hey, if I was a beach ball in the river and I wasn't paddling, but I just floated, in 10 minutes of just moving, I'm going to make some big distance, right? So this is 35 hours of movement. Now, all of my tactical athletes, all of my endurance runners who do these ultra pieces can relate to, I have to move and keep moving. So one of the things that happens is we spend 35 hours on our feet, difficult to deal with compression, difficult to deal with the fact that I'm just going to overdo those tissues. And one of the things that came back, and Robert's saying, what was your problem?
It was numb underneath this digit.
So we have a localized numbness piece underneath the bottom of the foot here. This is classically where people usually get like a Morton aroma on the bottom side. They end up having a little place. And likely because Robert moves well, he deadlifts, he does all these other things, but he just kind of smoked some part of the bottom of his foot. So let's just say I didn't have a doctor doing physical therapy, but you know, I'm having this little stiffness. Working upstream of that means that, hey, what are you doing to really recover the bottom of your foot? One of the novel techniques we've done is we stand on the grid, and I had Robert do this for about 10 minutes yesterday, and did it change?
Yeah. Yes.
So what happens is, I basically have him just trying to peel off the edge of the roller. And he's just going to spend some time. He'll find exactly where he's tight, and just going really slow, trying to pressure waving the bottom of the foot here. And if he's just going to spend some time smashing that, and this is really difficult to get with a ball sometimes in the same way.
I tried it with the ball.
You try it with a ball, but sometimes that point discrimination is too high. It's too pressure, too much like an ice pick going through your tissues. But spending some time on an edge, if you didn't have a grid roller, you can imagine you can improvise with the butt of the stock of a rifle. You can find anything with kind of that soft edge and just kind of work over it. If you're a standing desk athlete, you trust me, we've got to get you out of your desk. You could literally be standing at your workstation, spending some time, kind of cultivating this bottom position, 10 minutes of just working through the feet. You can do this until you feel like there's no more scratch to be had, no more kind of piece to go. Back and forth, and you'll see how slow he is. He can adjust the position. And one of the things we're always trying to have our athletes do is recover or adapt or maximize adaptation within the context of still training. What we want to do is, I'd rather have an athlete take a day later. Robert went for a brutal run with Brian yesterday, and up Mount Tan with a weight vest on, and still sees improvement. Still can train. And that's the idea here, is that I'd rather you continue to get a little stimulus, and all we're doing is working upstream of the mechanical problem. Let's feed blood flow in there, let's restore the supplability, let's unglue that small digital nerve, and lo and behold, this seems very subtle. Give this a try. If you're an athlete, your feet are so stiff. And remember, your feet are designed to be like a leopard's paw, right? And if they're rigid because of who we are and what happens, we'll tell you what's your plan to restore that kind of suppleness. Robert Tuller.
As Lieutenant Dan said, take care of your feet, right?
Bam, that just happened. We'll see you guys tomorrow.